All right, look who's here. High jumper, cleared 6'10". Has anyone ever introduced you that way? Ryan Hollins, 6'10",
you did
high jumper.
You did your homework. 7
did.
7 feet and 3/4.
Is that what it was? See, Wikipedia giveth and taketh.
College though, college.
Yeah,
I
in the
did.
Pac-10, which was like 100 years ago.
Yeah, I know, right? They don't even have Pac-12 anymore,
the Pac
right?
doesn't even exist.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean,
Bro,
I'm dating myself. I'm feeling old. Now you want me to? Let's start off the show feeling old.
Come in and insult the guest immediately. All right, played in the NBA for a handful, like a lot of years, by the way. Now color analyst for the Rockets. But did you ever like try to go to the Olympics to high jump? Because the Pac-12 or Pac whatever is like elite in the country.
You know, it's funny. I like the thought ran across my mind, or I had a couple people get excited. I actually did triple jump also, and the thought was like, yo, you could be an 8-foot high jumper, because I did 7 feet and 3/4 raw. Didn't know what I was doing. Form wasn't great. Basketball half the time, track a pinch at a time. So the thought was there, but it's like, do you want to be 7 feet, 205 pounds and traveling Europe, or do you want to go to the NBA? So it was fun, but it was pretty cool. And the irony is, I don't believe I'm an NBA athlete without track. Actually, I'm not. I don't believe I go to the NBA without that. So it was a blessing, man. Just be willing to, I guess, divert your path, because something may set you apart and make you special. Be willing to be different.
So what was the goal initially? Was it to do track, or was it to be a baller?
You know what's funny, bro? No, always basketball, but good friend of mine, like my childhood, like best friend growing up, he was doing high jump, like kind of like, you know, like you play a sport, you get pushed in other sports, like everybody goes into track, whether you want to do it or not. And he was like,
that's based on where you're from. So you're from Cali, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm from Connecticut. Like no one did track where I was from. You were pushed to baseball or football, maybe basketball.
I didn't get pushed there, but my friend was talking trash to me, saying that I couldn't jump higher than he could. And I knew, at a worst case, whether I'm a jumper or not, I'm like, I can jump higher than you jump. And I kept progressing until like I took third in the state in triple jump. I kept progressing into track and being good. Now my uncles had the genetics. They ran track. I did basketball. So like his trash talk, I ended up being third in the state in triple jump. But as you noted, I was originally like a high jumper. So just my father, thank God for him. Like his genetics are unbelievable. And then it's like, whoa, we didn't know he was this. And then UCLA shows up at the Masters meet, and they're like, will you jump at UCLA? And I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. Yeah, life, right?
That's wild. How much taller were you than the next tallest track athlete? Because those guys aren't huge.
No, like, man, my guy Justin, he ended up being my roommate. I forget his last name. He was like a 6'10" high jumper. He was the only one.
So that's a big boy.
But my understanding, 6'11", I was the tallest triple jumper in like California, like history.
How do you lift that body that way? Like, I just see like some of these dudes are lankier. Like some are tall, like 6'4", but they're bendy. Like,
you know what's funny? Like I always like I believed in my mind. If like that guy can jump up, I can do that. It was like, yo, like if he can do that, I can do that. Like that was my mindset. And then like from my high school, we'd always had like a bunch of athletes, John Muir High School, Pasadena. So like I didn't know like I was tall. Like I didn't know, like I thought I was supposed to be doing what the 6 foot, 6'2", 5'11" guy was doing. Like you go pick up basketball, or you're playing football, like you're running around with the little guys. You're not a big guy who's, oh, I'm supposed to just be slow and trotting around. I was in my mind, I was one of the boys, right? So, you know, even defensively or in the NBA, it was like I didn't feel ever like a big man. You know, if that made sense.
I love that you were a multi-sport athlete, because I feel like we're losing that in the country, because you get, like you kind of said, like the coach grabs you in the hallway and is like, that body's on my team now in football, especially in America. But being a multi-sport athlete is so beneficial to becoming a better athlete. Yeah. And then you can specialize eventually if you're good enough. Most people just aren't good enough to specialize. Yeah. Like I played 3 sports in high school, never specialized. I played a little D3 baseball because I wasn't good enough. I didn't have the talent, but being able to do it all at least allowed me those experiences and at least become a better athlete to now where I can be a superhero on Saturdays in Houston.
Like, let's say like something crazy, like let's say they threw you out there like as a baseball player, right? I don't know what would translate necessarily. Like a lot of baseball guys play quarterback, right? Because their arms are there because they're your mechanics. But like, let's say they're like, well, like we want you throwing javelin, or like something weird. Then all of a sudden you develop a core strength or something you didn't know you had that would have,
there's a lot of indirect translations that can be useful, especially in track, like you mentioned, because it's just all raw like body talent.
Yeah, I didn't know how to jump, dude. So the track unlocked how to jump. Then I went back to basketball. I'm flying through the air. And it was like, oh, snap. Like a 7-footer is not supposed to be doing that. And then I was absolutely unique from the rest of the, post players or bigs because of that.
So you got drafted late. And then you made a hell of a career out of the 50th overall pick out of UCLA. What kept you going? What allowed you to stay in the league for so long?
Shout out to Rico Hines. Rico's over in Philly with Nick Nurse. He's like renowned now for training and working guys out and running the summer runs where LeBron, KD, Steph, all those big name guys go and play and train. You go to LA, you go work out with Rico, you get in the runs. But he worked me out coming into the draft, and his thing was like, know your big picture, longevity. Like, we want to be there for 10 plus years. Like, it was never just get drafted. We were like, that's the beginning. And then we're like, it's funny that you said like drafted 50th. Like, bro, I had a hit list.
You're the guy in what's that movie with Billy Madison where he's like crossing names off.
Yeah, like you get a chip on your shoulder. Either you find meaning in that and motivation, or you get dejected worrying about what you don't have. So like, I had something to prove to all those guys, and then longevity, and you look up and you're like, man, like I'm still here. Like it's a blessing. Or like it hurt hearing scouts say like, yeah, this guy's better. He can do this and this. Okay, cool. We'll see.
So what gave you that motivation, especially in this league? And we were talking about kind of the culture in the league, and you get paid off potential now, and you get these guaranteed dollars. Was it like that when you were there, first of all? And then like for you to get paid and then still want to become better and stay in the league and compete?
Well, I would say I never got a mega contract, but the P word was always a big thing with me, potential, right? Like, it was thrown out because you got to think, like, you got a guy 7 feet with a 43.5-inch vertical. You're like, well, if he can do X, Y, and Z, he would do this, or this. So the opportunities for me were there. Potential was everything, but also like the way that the system is developed now, these young guys get opportunities. Dude, I didn't see my jersey till halfway through the season. Not like, forget play, minute, like I didn't see my jersey, but it created a hunger. So
what does that mean, you didn't see your jersey? What do you mean?
The Ryan Hollins Charlotte Bobcats, that's the Charlotte Hornets now jersey. Like, I didn't see it. They didn't even put it in the locker. Like, I came out, it was like training gear. Like, you had to establish that. Like, you had to earn it. The first time, like, you take it for granted, bro. Like, imagine you come from college or high school. First time you see your NBA jersey with Hollins on it. Like, it's a thing. So,
oh yeah, it's a thing.
For me, when I first saw that jersey, like, I had to appreciate it. Like, there went like the G League and the D League are two different things. Two-way contracts. It was like, yo, try to make it through training camp or go overseas and get your bread. So like, all the opportunities that the commissioners made for young players and a focus on young talent was not there. So there's a lot of never was or could have been or we don't knows out there. And then the pay, like, it was like a teacher's salary in the D League. Development League, not the G League now, not the Gatorade League, bro. Like it was different, but
that's when you were in Fort Wayne,
Fort Worth Flyers.
Fort Worth.
You did your homework, man.
I'm screwing up the forts, but I got you.
Right, but times have changed.
What was better, Fort Worth or the Charlotte Bobcats?
Oh, Charlotte Bobcats. Hey.
I say that jokingly, but were you on that team? The team that won like 3.5 games?
Which team are you talking about now?
The Bobcats that had like the historically bad year. I lived in Charlotte for a couple of years, so
I was not familiar. We were better, but I was on a historically bad team.
That
one wasn't historically bad, but I was a part of a historically bad team.
Which one?
We're doing this, bro.
Can you tell?
You want to know?
Gotta
Bro?
be good stories.
We're like 5 minutes in. Okay.
There has to be good stories.
Nah, man. I was in unbelievable, man.
You, man.
Nah, I was in Cleveland post LeBron,
okay.
and you know, I didn't really understand. Byron Scott was there. No LeBron. We start getting injuries. Anderson Varejao goes down. Antoine Jameson goes down. And, like, I didn't know what tanking was. And I'm like, bro, we're just losing games. I'm just depressed. And, like, you know, we start losing, and those games start stockpiling. And, you know, like, a way that a team can tank or develop guys, you know, they take it as an opportunity to see who can play. They're starting different guys, putting different guys in the lineups. And, like no one's paying attention to us. Like, right, okay, no LeBron there. We're not getting national games. And then I look up. We're like 20 deep, bro. And there's like a count going on ESPN. And next thing I know, Herm Edwards is like on TV, and he's giving us this pep talk of like, you got to keep on going, next game mentality. I'm like, what is going on, bro? And long story short, thank God for the process in the Philadelphia 76ers. That was not a record that I want to be a part of. But, like, you know, all of a sudden you start getting notoriety and the wrong attention for it. So, yeah, that wasn't fun, man. That wasn't fun.
How is that on your head? Because you're an elite athlete, you're an elite competitor. Like we've talked about already, like you got into track and field at the highest level because you're competitive, because someone said you would have sucked at it. And like you became good at it. Charlie Villanueva talked, I know his brother really well. Shout out to Surge Realty, who's in town here. Talked about when he was in Detroit, he was depressed. Like he was just not happy because they were so damn bad and he didn't like it up there. What's that like for you?
Well, me and Charlie got in a fight because it was so darn bad there.
Were you on that team up there?
No, I was playing against him.
Oh, okay.
Go on. Got the worst of Charlie. Shout out Charlie. By the way, that's my. No, we're good. No, we're good. So we're good. We knows. But like Byron Scott didn't come in the locker room like, hey guys, we're tanking. We're gonna explore different lineups.
Uh-huh.
Like he's bro. Hey, shout out B Scott. Laker great. B Scott is just chewing us out after games. I mean, he's late. Hey, bro. Like he is laying the wood. I mean, he's giving us. I mean, it was we can like 11 better now, but like the most depressing time of my life in the sense of like, bro, like there wasn't like we're trying new things, we're developing, we're trying to lose these games. Like it was like you didn't get back on defense. Where are you at on your help side? Like I remember, bro, like one game we're playing, we're trying to win. We're working so hard defensively, like to get stops. Like we could not score to save our lives. Like we are working so hard. And it was like, we cannot, like, I remember like, yo, winning in the NBA is hard. Now, because of that, I was like, yo, I will take less money to win. Like when I got out of there, I went to Boston. Then I went to with the Clippers. But I was like, yo, like I take less. Like I don't like I want to win. Like I can't do it again. And God bless Byron, but you know he we were sound defensively, worked hard. We didn't have guys. You know, and like it would have been nice. I tell you this, bro. I get waived. I get to the point. I can say it now. So, I'm asking them. I'm like, trade me, like let me move forward. You know, I wasn't the public guy, but I like behind the scenes was like, hey, I've done everything right.
Please
give me the opportunity to move on. And Dave Griffin is there, and shout out Griff ends up winning a ring. So maybe our trash ended up being treasure when LeBron came back. Thank you, LeBron.
Yeah, you're welcome, Cleveland.
But I remember walking to the airport. I finally get him to wave me, and Boston's trying to trade for me. They're like, "We'll give you Jermaine O'Neal. We'll give you a pick. How about Chris Wilcox?" They're trying to figure something, and then you know they're like, "Well, we want a first-round pick for Hollins." Like, dude, they're not giving you a first-round pick. Like, come on, okay. So after the deadline goes, I'm like, "Listen, I'm not playing." Saying work, like wave me, like let me go, right? So I finally get out the contract. I thought they'd have to buy me out. My agent convinced me they're gonna have to buy you out. You're gonna lose some money. I'm like, dang, that stinks. Thank God Cleveland does me a solid. They waive me. It sounds horrible. Like buyout sounds so much better, right? Yeah. They waive me, but I'm like, waive is great for if they waive you, you get your bread. You're on a guaranteed contract. It means you're getting all your money. Then the next team you go to is gonna pay you. And I remember like I happen to see Griff like in the airport or something walking by, and like I'm getting ready to get on a plane. I'm getting this goodbye speech. Hey, Griff, appreciate everything. We tried everything we could. You know, the games were tough. We worked, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what? Griff looks at me. He's like, that was great. He was like, we start winning too much. He was like, man, we're trying to throw this thing. And like, imagine like the kid who found out Christmas wasn't real. Like, I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? Like, we were losing like all those sleepless nights and you guys are celebrating the losses at the moment. But like, I get it now. But as a player, bro, like you said, like I'm going through it. I'm like, there's no way, Griff. Like, there's no way we've done all that. And like, I get it. Like, you could have like wink, like gave me a nod, like go get yours, bro.
It's tough because you're trying to make a career. You're a competitor, so you want to go out there and win. You can't go out there on the floor and tank. But meanwhile, behind the scenes, like, yes, let's lose. No one's on the same page, and it's like that pull and tug. Like, it's tough.
Yeah, Byron didn't let us know.
How the hell is he getting all up on you guys, losing by 30 and losing 20 in a row or whatever it is? Like, how does that even not fall on deaf ears? Like, dude, can you chill out?
Oh, he chewed us out, bro. Oh, it was every game. I mean, we're slamming water bottles, punching boards, like bees. And he's a world champ, though. He's intense. Yeah. He was never cool with it. So he felt like the guys he put out there should compete.
Well, hell yeah. I mean, I remember talking to James Borrego when he was the head coach of the Hornets, which shame on them when they fired him. He was getting 10 wins over 10 wins over 10 wins every season, and they fired him and went back to Steve Clifford. But he was like, yeah, like, we're not good enough. I talked to him off kind of in the locker room one day, and he was like, yeah, like, we're not a playoff team yet, and we got to develop guys. Like, it's really tough to do both because every time you finish kind of 8th or 9th in the East, you never have a good enough draft pick to get any damn better. And you have the front office that wants you to lose, and then you want to go out there and win every time. You're a new head coach. You got to prove your worth because you want to keep your job.
Developing guys is very tough for coaches because that means I'm gambling with this position or these minutes. I got 20 minutes I'm gambling with. Like, he might chuck that thing out of bounds or he might sink a 3.
And he didn't have a resume to lean on, so, like, he's still not a head coach again. He will be eventually. But, like, that's good. Your life as well, and that's tough. All right, let's talk Rockets. Woo! You're the man, dude.
We've been through the slums.
Thanks for coming in.
The slums of Ryan Hollins' career. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, wait. I do have one question. You were like 70 some odd points away from 2,000. Did you ever think about staying until you got 2,000?
I wish somebody would have told me that.
Yeah, you were like 1,930 something points.
You done your homework. I didn't know that. Hey, Rafael, give me a 10. Right? Rafael, give me 70 points.
Shoot, they keep getting banged up. Maybe.
Phil, what can I do that in 10 games, right?
How long would it take you to get 70 points today?
10 games. Yeah, go get 10 points.
Okay.
10 rebounds, get some free throws, give or take.
Lean in. Okay.
So like 7 points a game in 10 games? Yeah. I got that.
I mean, your average in your career was 3, though.
I mean, minutes-wise. You got to think how many games I've gone in for 30 seconds.
True. Okay.
Give me that per 36.
So if we make this a thing,
give me that per 36,
right,
big fella. Come on, man.
We'll sponsor it. Rockets. All right. What do you think their ceiling is for this team? Because I think it's an interesting conversation because early on they were second in the West. They've obviously fallen off due to injuries and a bad stretch, and we're seeing some chinks in the armor right now.
I'd be lying to you if I said I knew his ceiling.
Yeah.
The reason I say that, I don't think anybody knew that the team would have this level of success this fast. And shout out to the Fertittas and Rafael and Ime and our guys for putting in the work. But you had come in with the vision of, hey, we're going to develop Alp, we're going to develop Jalen, we're going to add these veterans into the mix, develop Jabari, and then see how that meshes. And it's an intriguing place because while the top tiers of the NBA keep getting older, those younger teams, the Memphises, the OKCs, Houstons, are right up there on the board. So there's a changing of the guard going right before our eyes in the mindset not to just jump ship on our young talent or trade or move those guys and say, hey, hold on, whole Pat, Kevin Durant, hey, Phoenix Suns, those guys are older. Like, to see that and stay patient. So I think it's hard to say because you can't, like, you could pencil in my time in the league, LeBron James in the NBA Finals. Four guys around him, he's getting to the finals. Steph Curry and the Warriors, that wasn't going nowhere no time soon. It's going somewhere now. Mm-hmm. So I'm very intrigued with what Houston healthy can do because their depth, because of Coach Udoka. And, like, the best thing about young guys is, like Jabari in the beginning of the season is going to be a different player at the end of the season. Much better, more effective, knows what he needs to do. He's playing like a 5th and 6th year guy rather than a 2nd and 3rd year guy. Same thing for Jalen, same thing for LP. So where that window is, we're still trying to figure out, you know, who steps up in moments, who's the guy. This is a team that's very moldable. If you have a superstar and you have LeBron James on your team, you know you're getting 27, 7, and 7%. I'm not sure what he's averaging. Yeah. Steph Curry, you know, if he gets an open throw, you get this. Then you can plug in pieces around it. We still have pieces that we're trying to plug in. We still have guys that are being essentially evaluated. So to gauge the potential, it's still something you're trying to figure out, especially when you got guys like Jalen Green can go Super Saiyan at any moment. It's scary because we've seen him go on heaters, and then it's like, boom, like it clicks. That changes the dynamic of what the Houston Rockets are. Alperen Sengun, although an all-star, he's still growing. Like, he's young, man. Like, so what those guys can be, we're still, as an organization, figuring out. So as far as to answer your first question, the potential of these guys, it's still to be evaluated. And, like, we're looking at OKC, and it's like, hey, if those are the top dogs, we match up well. And I'll give you this, when you see the landscape of the NBA, especially even the Western Conference, it's going to come down to matchups, bro. So, like, we might mess around and get OKC, match up very well with them. That could be a team you knock off. You might match up with a team you have trouble with. Let's say a weird team like Sacramento's giving us problems. Mm-hmm. Let's say we match up with Sacramento. That might be a headache because they just match up well. So right now, I think the playoffs and the Western Conference come into matchups. And if I'm a team, I'm hunting certain matchups like, man, we got them. Like that works for us. So I think that's what it comes down to.
You mentioned the credit. I want to give all the credit that I can to Ime Udoka. Like, I am obsessed with this dude and the way that he coaches in a league that the greats want to be coached. I firmly believe that. I don't think that a lot of the guys in the league love the way that Ime goes about it and could handle it the way that this Rockets team has. And kudos to him for creating the relationships in order to be able to coach them the way he does. Like, he sits Jalen when his ass isn't in gear late in the games. He sits at Alpi. It don't matter what your name is, what your salary is, what your contract is. If you're not getting the job done late in the games, you're just going to be next to him or Ben Sullivan. Like, that's the way it works. And for him to build that culture here and win at the same time, I think it's awesome. Like, it's so rare in the NBA.
I say it wholeheartedly. I believe Ime is the best coach in the NBA. He's been given a bunch of triangles, circles, squares, and they're like, Ime, make it work.
So true.
And I think the biggest testament to him is that you saw guys having like career years and seasons. And these guys that people didn't believe in and their flaws were glaring. Everybody said they can't do this, they can't do that. You know, hey, Fred's overpaid. Jalen don't know how to play basketball. Alp doesn't play deep. Like you can run down all the flaws and took those strengths and said, let's focus on these strengths. Let's put these guys in situations where they can excel. So Ime's unbelievable in that. And then all of a sudden you forget about those bad things. Everybody has weaknesses, especially as a player, and focus on good things and the ability to teach. And also, and I was telling somebody this the other day, one of my buddies, and it was just like, look, like, we have a group, and you just mentioned this, that's like coachable. Like, bro, let's like you ain't benching. Like, there's certain guys, like, you ain't benching LeBron James. Like, learn a lesson. You ain't play defense this game.
Right? There's another coach fired.
Right? Exactly. Like, shout out to Jalen, Alp, Jabari, like those guys have allowed him to coach them. Guys are demanding trades, don't want to be there, all that. They because they've allowed coach to coach them, that's why our guys are having success. That's why you ask me, like, where's the potential? I'm like, dude, I don't know, because he's still working. Bro, let me tell you something, Will. After losses, bro, ain't no, like, it's all good. He's steaming. He's at it. Like, the accountability is a 10 of 10. And it's not beating guys down. It's how can we be better? How can he be better? He don't sit well like, oh, I just worked. You know, sometimes you'll look at a schedule, you'll go and we'll project, right? You'll go, hey, we're going on a road trip. Let's get half these games. Or we go 3 out of 4. We got beat them, have a dogfight with them. Hey, guys, we went 4 or 5 on a trip, or, 5 out of 8. That's good. We're sitting where we want to sit. He wants them all, bro. And the accountability because of that is there. But the way that he challenges the guys and they allow him to do that, it's almost like it's like at college. Like our guys, like Alfie's in college.
Very much college.
Right? You don't get to do that in the pro. So it's fun to watch.
Because the relationship is there. Again, in college, you see this all the time, like Tom Izzo screaming at a player in his face. Like, and then some clown on tour is like, Coach yells at me like that, I'll punch him in the face. Well, no, you're not.
Chill. 2,
there's a reason you're not on that team because you're obviously you're a mental midget. 3, there's a relationship there that allows Tom to get in that dude's face, and the dude doesn't take it personally. He knows that he's trying to get better. It's like a father figure. And Ime Udoka has that with these guys. Like, the way he coaches them, I think, is awesome. And what you said is the best coaches don't tell me what he can't do. Tell me what he can do, and we're going to make this work. And in the NBA today, where it's positionless basketball, you can have a handful of guys out there that kind of do the same things, which coming into the year, a lot of these guys do that. A lot of those guys on this roster have the kind of the same skill set, but he's putting them in positions to have success. And then they're growing. So I don't know what their potential is either. I have no idea because it's so rare to see a young team that has quote-unquote potential and learning and growing at the same time while still not fully developed. Like, it's so rare. And the NBA's got a culture problem, as PK Subban kind of talked about on ESPN, of what's your why? Why are you playing? The culture of the NHL is not the same as the NBA. Like, the NBA All-Star game was abysmal to watch. It's embarrassing to watch as a competitor, to watch Chris Paul and Wembanyama go out there and try to skirt the rules of the contest, of the skills contest, in order to try to quote unquote win and not compete. Like, it was embarrassing. And then you see Team USA beating the hell out of Team Canada literally during their All-Star break. Like, that was awesome. What's your why? Why are you going out there? And the Rockets, I feel like, are a watchable product because they want to go out there, compete, and their coach holds them accountable. And I think people relate to accountability as well.
Yeah, no, accountability is everything. It is. And you got to feel like someone's putting everything out there. And, here's the reality. Like, there's 2 sides of it. These guys now are smarter than they were when I played. They understand the business of the game. They're taking advantage, where in all reality, when I played, not for maybe a guy like myself, I had a value. Hey, they used me for the 10 years, made whatever money. I played my role. Not only was I happy to be there, but, my mindset wasn't take 100%. It was like, shut up and play. These guys understand, if I'm in the NBA for 1 year, I'm going to capitalize outside of the NBA. These guys get the business of basketball. Social media has made them marketable. It's brought them money, because guess what? Like, you break your leg tomorrow, bro, that's it. And they have, they're going to send you packing. So I applaud our players for that. Now, because of that, somewhat of the integrity of the game, of the just go out and play because you should play, has not been there. So there's a give and take. There's a method to the madness. And a lot of people don't like to give away their feelings, their childhood, their moments. So when you watch Hakeem Olajuwon, he gave you a happy moment. He helped you through a tough time in your life. I remember where I was with the championship. We were in the Russell's house in their basement. It was me and my dad, and we had Church's chicken, eating the chicken, watching the game. And I'll never forget the excitement on my father's face. So when you tell me that NBA wasn't a good NBA or the best NBA you could have, you're telling me those moments with my father don't have value. So that's why it is hard for them to adapt to these new moments. And you have the good guy, you got I don't want to say bad guy, probably depending on what city you're in, but like, you create these storylines, and people love greatness. The league has not found an heir apparent yet. They haven't found a guy. We do not appreciate, we have been spoiled by Michael Jordan. Michael gives it to Kobe. Kobe gives it to LeBron. This sucker has played 20 years.
Yeah.
There's no apparent. That's where it isn't. And people are going to look and blame LeBron. LeBron is doing this far longer than he should have been doing. But because there's not a guy that has stepped into that role, because the talent level in the NBA is deeper, because that next guy to take the platform, or hey, maybe Kevin Durant was supposed to be that guy. He's younger, right? Or whatever. The problem is LeBron just kept on staying competitive. So LeBron was competitive for so long, it almost hurts the league in a sense because he's overshadowed some of these guys that were supposed to just truly, maybe Steph Curry, you can say, truly supposed to take that throne. Maybe Giannis was supposed to do it. Giannis did not put his throat on the league the way that those other did. Not to take away from his accomplishments, but it's there. Hey, when Jokic won it, as dominant he is, hey, it hurts the league, okay? When we'll just say it. We'll call it for what it is. With all due respect to these guys and their greatness and what it is, and why people will appreciate a LeBron later on. This is facts. When Jokic wins the NBA championship and says, do I have to go to the parade? Do you know what that does to the league? When Kawhi wins it and his personality is super chill, and he says, hey, I don't really want to do the commercials, this, that hurts the league. Like when certain guys are not with that part. So while you can criticize, and a lot of people cannot stand the branding and the images and the way LeBron speaks and tweets and reaches out, that helps the league. So not to have someone who can kind of do both, like that's where LeBron gets those Magic Johnson references. But he's doing that like while playing, which is insane because he's done it for so long. But that next guy, like you got to be a bad boy on the court and off the court. And now the league goes to a whole nother level. But in a sense, man, he's still buzzing. He's buzzing so much he's putting his sons on. He's going to, dude, remember I said this, LeBron James is going to play with both his sons in the NBA.
Right or wrong. Should Bronny be in the league?
Absolutely.
You think he's talented enough?
Absolutely. I coached Bronny, helped work with him in high school. And like, here's the deal. People are like, some people are too high on him. Some people are too low on him. He's his dad. He's just a 6'1" version of his dad. He's athletic. He's strong. He's his father at 6'1". He probably plays like he's about 6'7". So just by those genetics alone, and if you look at the guys around him and what they're doing, he's absolutely deserving. No one's just tearing it up. We're just have focus on. He was the 50th pick in the NBA draft, right? Like so if you look at what the other picks around him are doing, he's doing just fine right now. But the optics of he's supposed to be this or this or this, or the lens on him is not a fair lens. Again, look at those picks around. So if you went and tested and you saw a guy 40-inch vert, strong as an ox, can move, you know what I'm saying, has some developing to do, Bronny has developing to do. So he's not a guy right now, but he's an NBA player. He's a potential player. He has his work cut out, and if it wasn't the Lakers, he was going to be drafted regardless in which. So you can average 2 points or whatever and go in, and he is continuing to improve. And they are going to take that guy, which happens all the time in sports, who is super athletic, who's strong, has great genes, versus somebody who maybe scored more, because that guy, when he figures it out, is going to have a better ceiling and better career. So, no, there's no doubt that he should have been drafted. But at the end of the day, like, he's going to have to put his work in. And for the guys who put their work in and grinded and sacrificed and had those sleepless nights, like, you know what, like he's going to have to, make good on that. So it ain't his fault. Shoot, if it were my son, I'd be doing the same thing. But like he's got that. And then now Bronny has to go make good on it, honestly.
All right, let's get back to the Rockets here. What do they do with these guys in the contracts? Who stays, who goes? They can't keep them all. What do you think they do?
Man, Rafael Stone got rich people problems.
It's a blessing to have,
yes,
but a problem nonetheless.
Rich people problems, like
at least a decision,
like Lamborghini or Ferrari. Yeah. Which way you going? I think the organization is, and this is above my pay grade. These are all my speculations, of course. They got two different routes, man. They can stay homegrown and try to get, friendly contracts that keep guys here in Houston and keep it together, which the organization is taking that road and it's really, really paying off. Or you get into a really fun scenario and you go get a guy that fits culture and you can be patient. You don't want to be an impatient organization, because you start giving up too much. You risk and you gamble so much on a guy, and if you don't get a return on it, you don't know if it works. So if there's not a move that says championship, Houston, in my opinion, is not going to want to do it. Houston didn't tear down to rebuild, to develop guys and take their lumps to just be good. You can just be good. So that move, if there's a large move that's made or something that makes sense, like Rafael Stone didn't hit on everything. Like, you hit in the draft, that's entirely impossible to do, first and foremost. And then, like, you don't mess anything up in free agent, and then you bring in guys that really, really add value, and then you see it. They've built everything the right way. And I can say it's fun doing my job because I don't have to give you lip service. You know, I don't got to put lipstick on a pig, right, when I say that. But I think the options ultimately moving forward, like, that right move has to be made. And the goal, in my opinion, from everything I've seen, it's a championship. So that move has to feel like a championship move. And then the best thing, if you're a poker player, whatever, you're playing the stakes, you can be patient. You can hold those cards tight and get the deal that you want if it is a deal that's going to be made.
Something that's overlooked in the NBA so often when you build these super teams, and a lot of them fail. Like, the Nets was a damn disaster. The Lakers back in the day, when they put all those big older names together, was a disaster, is the culture. Like, you can get 5 great players, but if they don't fit together, they don't play well together, they're not going to be a good team. And the culture here in Houston is something very specific that you don't see around the league that we talked about already. And to bring in a guy, like, if they were going to bring in Booker or they were going to bring in Spider, or whoever they were going to bring in, like the rumors were at the trade deadline, you can't make that move willy-nilly with this team, because this team is better as its whole and than it is in some of its parts because of the culture. They buy in to play defense. They are coachable with Ime. And I think you put the wrong ingredient in there, you can destroy it all.
Absolutely. And, like, when you like when you bring in a guy, like, depending on, like, the higher level guy that you want, like you said, like, those come with repercussions. Those comes with little stipulations that may challenge your culture. So now I've said every man for himself. You know, excuse me, where I said all for one, one for all, excuse me. And I've preached all those things when you talk about culture, and then I say that it's not there. Or, like, I'll give you situations that work. Let's get a little basketball history here. So the reason that Kawhi Leonard could go to Toronto seemingly in the midst of the season and win a championship is because they had culture. So that you build good culture, then you make that trade or move, and then that guy doesn't derail what's going on, okay? So that's why that worked. Every team can't just assemble. Why I think the Brooklyn Nets, when they had all the talent, when Harden moved over there and Durant and Kyrie and everybody was like, it was championship, they hadn't built culture, okay? Those are the things that you have to have, and then when you have someone join, he doesn't derail your culture, and now you can go win. So it's a very delicate place to be in as an organization if you are going to make a trade, if you are going to make a move, because there may be a guy who's not as good per se, not as talented, but he can drive culture. He can fit. Or there's a guy who's so darn good, like it don't matter. It's like, hey, what do you want, big fella? What do you want? We'll work around you. So I think the delicate places for front office to say, hey, you know, who fits into that? But everything that I've seen, we are in amazing hands here in Houston as far as the front office, as far as an organizational standpoint. Everybody on the same page, everybody, you know, gets it, and you can see the product on the floor.
How much more fun is it to call these games when you're winning versus putting that lipstick on the pig in the years past?
Let me tell you something, bro. And I mean, I understand, like, our young kids were developing, so, like, it was a joy even watching them. I mean, like, I'm competitive. I hate losing. Like, you feel like I played the game after some of these games. I'm punching walls
because you got to deal with the text too. So, like, when I was covering the Panthers and the Hornets when I was living in Charlotte, it's like, your Hornets suck, your Panthers suck. Like, first of all, I ain't on the team, but second of all, no, they don't. They actually have this, and I'm sitting here like, why am I? You take it personally every Sunday or every game. You're kind of involved in it. You want to see these guys have success.
Those juices are still going, but man, there's some I don't know how professional we sound on air sometimes, but like, I mean, like me and Craig, we've jumped out of our seats, ripped the headset off. Like, I mean, there's just a couple plays that shock us. I remember Jalen Green, like the dunk he had on Cade Cunningham, Simons, like we literally like jumped off, like we're grabbing each other, like he's pushing me over, like this guy's like, I'm surprised I don't have a black eye from Craig at some point in time, but like we genuinely have like excitement that sometimes awesome. We can't hold back.
Hell with the professionalism, like you're calling it for a hometown team, you're not on ESPN or TNT, like you can be that. And I think that's awesome. I think that's great in a market like this.
And the best thing, like we've got to see our guys develop. So I love these kids. Like I want to see them do well. I like forget that. I care about them as people, their families, the things that they bring to the table. And that's that environment here. Like we have great guys here and great young guys that are good, like good dudes. Like forget basketball. Like we're gonna be good for life. So that makes it a lot easier. And sometimes like I can't hold back. Forgive.
But I think that's real. Like it happens for me too. And I'm quote unquote journalist, right? Like,
for sure.
But I don't ever want anyone to fail. Like especially when you get to know these guys in the locker room.
Yes.
Whether it's baseball, football, or basketball here in town, like you get to know them. You want to see them have success. I talk about this all the time with Lance McCullers Jr. in particular because he put his heart on the line and destroyed his arm for this city to get a World Series. And the city. So many fans have turned on him because he hasn't pitched since 2022. He hasn't pitched since 2022 because his arm is like a damn disaster and he's been rehabbing. I promise you, rehab life sucks, and it's way worse than going out there and doing what you love the most. I want to see that dude have so much success, and anybody in these because they're good human beings. I love seeing guys have success. And by the way, it's like owning stock in a team. The better the Rockets do, the more relevant I am. The better the Astros do, it's like the more relevant I am. The better the Texans are now that they don't suck, the more relevant my coverage is. Doing all this work for no one to watch because no one gives a damn is way worse. Like it's like if a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, did it actually fall or whatever? That's what it's like covering a team that sucks. And Houston has a whole bunch of winners right now.
Absolutely, man. It's a fun time to be a Houstonian. It's a fun time.
And the food.
Oh, guys, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
That's where we'll end this. Where's your favorite place to eat in town?
Ooh. Favorite place? You know what? So here's the thing, bro. What I appreciate, like from California, I feel like I can get good food somewhere. Like you go out somewhere, California, 9, 10 o'clock, the kitchen's closed, bro. Like you go to the gas station in Houston, you're getting some bomb burrito or a bomb taco or some barbecue. Like I'm like at the gas station, like so. Man, I enjoy it. You can just pick your poison. Do I have a favorite spot? I'm a seafood guy, bro. Like I feel like, bro, I had like what did I have? Like an oxtail egg roll at a spot. Like there's just so many different things like that I would say. So I can't narrow it down to one you're gonna hold me to a rain check.
Saying if right now if I said, hey, let's go grab food, it's on me. Where you want to go?
Ah, big fella, where's the next Landry's operation? right, where are we going? Where are we charging
Company man?
Where are we charging that card up, man?
Company man, little Landry. Shout out Tillman.
Yeah.
You throw us a gift card, Tillman. We'll go to any spot you want.
Yes.
Oh man, dude, that's one of my favorite things about Houston. Houston's not a great place to visit as a tourist. It is an awesome place to live, and the food here is you can get any food in the world at the highest end. No matter where you go, you can get the best ramen, the best Chinese, the best Japanese, the best Texas food, whatever that. Like it's got a culture where you can have Tex-Mex, you can get Mexican, everything.
Yes,
everything. My first 5 months here, I gained too many pounds. Like it was like holy smokes, this food's everywhere, dude. It's awesome.
I mean, food trucks are good. Like,
yeah, every food truck is elite.
I'm telling you, California, it's not there like that. Like that thing. Like it's shutting down, like and like there's like how do you have food at? I mean, at like the gas station,
and they got the big beers on ice in the coolers at the gas station.
Everything.
Wait till you get home until you have them. All right, bro. This was the best.
Oh, appreciate it, bro.
You're the best for coming in. I appreciate you. Tell everybody where to find your work and what your Twitter account is or your X account.
Yeah. The Ryan Hollins. The Ryan Hollins. On Twitter, just Ryan Hollins. On Instagram, covering Rockets games. If you aren't a Houstonian, go ahead and check us out on League Pass, wherever. Download the clips. Check out the IG. We try to throw it up there, and just stay tuned, man. I try to document my journey as best I can. I have a blast. I enjoy what I do. Absolutely privileged, as you mentioned. I like to say, like, I don't feel like I've worked a day in my life. You know, like in my advice to kids or anybody who's listening that still has dreams and aspirations, like bro, like I played in the NBA. Like I've been played basketball for free, and after basketball, I get to talk about basketball. Don't pay attention to this, any of my bosses, okay? Hey, all right. I would talk basketball for free because I love it that much. That's something that I genuinely enjoy, and I hope that comes across on the broadcast. And I challenge any of these young kids, like, find the things that you love. Find the things that you do for free. Find the things that you do in your spare time and go monetize it. Go find a way to enjoy it. So I've been blessed. I'm thankful. I do it for my children. But again, man, like it's nothing like just being a part of something that you enjoy. You work hard, and for those dog days, they're going to be there at anything you do. But the days that you can sit and enjoy life and really have enthusiasm, that is living. That is being a part of something, man. So I hope everybody gets to live their dreams out the way that I've been blessed to.
Man, good for you, dude. I love you. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Appreciate it, brother.